Deshmukh of Class 8K. Some international news. A lockdown cannot go on forever, says Australia PM Scott Morrison. INS Shakti with 100 tons of medical oxygen reaches Sri Lanka. Rains in central China caused landslides, but no death reported. Pakistan to allow Sikh pilgrims to visit Kartarpur Sahib amid COVID-19 wave. Now some national news. Maharashtra has 27 more tests positive for Delta plus variant of COVID. Tele reaches 128. In Uttarakhand, COVID curfew extended till August 31. Now some sports news. Indians friendly force in a record squad for the Tokyo Paralympics. Third batch of India contingent departs for the Tokyo. Thank you.
Have a nice day, students. Today I will explain about the data science. What is the data and what is the science? Before explaining about the data science, I want to explain about the data. What is the data? The data is anything whichever you observe in terms of the numerical values, in terms of the qualitative, fact, textual data and the characteristics. Everything we can consider as a data. Suppose let us assume you are saying you are talking to a friend, you saying what a beautiful scene. This is also the data. You are watching a movie. This is also we can consider as a data. Some image or pictures we can also consider as a data, and some numerical format, the values we can also consider as a data. Everything we can consider as a data. Maybe in terms of the numerical format, maybe in terms of the textuals and the characteristics, or maybe in some characters format, the data we can consider as a data. Everything we can consider as a data. This is the some data. We display this data sheet. This data is in the tabular data, or we can say the structured data. You can see this is also the data. This is also we can consider as a data. Here, before explaining the data, we can classify the data into two parts: the qualitative data and the quantitative data. Qualitative data and quantitative data. Here, what is the meaning of the qualitative data? Qualitative means just the quality of an object. How would you classify the quality of the objects? Means just you can describe any characteristics or any behaviors and features of the object, then we can consider as the qualitative data. The qualitative data will not be described in the numerical format. Yes, we are saying yes, what is a beautiful thing? This is the qualitative data. Yes, you have got a very good marks. This is the qualitative data. If you are saying yes, you are very good in maths, this is the qualitative data. If you are saying yes, your height is too long, this is the qualitative data. Means the data that we describe in terms of characteristics, in terms of the characters and textual data, that data will be considered as a qualitative data. And the second one is the quantitative data. The quantitative data is the data that the data is in the form of the numerical. The data may be in 1 and maybe 3.23, that is the decimal format. The data we will consider as a quantitative data. Before further explaining about the data, I want to give you some descriptions or some definitions about the informations also. What is the difference between the data and informations? I want to explain with the help of some example. I think most of the students or most of the persons, they are going to the railway stations, and on the notice board you will find some descriptions about the train. Yes, this train is running from this, and train numbers, train name, plus arrival timing, departure timing, and the platform numbers also. Here you will find so many the descriptions of the so many trains that are being displayed on the notice board. You are processing and you find, yeah, this is the train which I want to catch, and this is the train number is this, and the arrival timing, departure timing, plus platform number this. After processing the complete descriptions of all train, this is the data, and you are getting the informations about the particular team. This is called the information. This is the difference between the data and informations. We must know what is the difference between the data and informations. After processing, whatever the result you will get, this is called the informations. That is very important for us, okay, because in the data science we have to process the data for getting our result, or for getting the solutions of the problems. This is the basic concept of the data and informations. Here I have already explained about the qualitative data and the quantitative data, and the quantitative data is further classified into two parts: discrete data and continuous data. Before explaining the discrete data and continuous data, let us see how the qualitative data has been further classified. Here the qualitative data has been further classified in three ways: ordinal data, nominal data, and binomial data. Ordinal data. Ordinal means order. The data which is describing in the form of the sum scales, and the minor scale has been labeling or naming. Just I am giving example here. We are getting the feedback from the students, or we are getting the feedbacks about the teachers. We are scaling the 1 to 5. Suppose we are getting the students feedback 1 to 5. If you know the English, then you can if you are well versed in English, you can say yes, 5 is the excellent, then 4 is the very good, then 3 is the good, and 2 is better, and 1 is the normal, or you can say just normal. Okay, here this is the scaling. We are giving the order of the scale will be provided, and the minor scale has naming or the labeling. So such type of the data is the ordinal data. Such type of the data will be the ordinal data. And the second one is data is the nominal data. Here in the nominal data, the ordered or scaling will not be provided, only the naming and the labeling of the data will be given. Only naming and labeling of the data will be given, but ordering and the scaling will not be provided here in the nominal data. The data will be known as the nominal data. Here in the student report cards, we will find the excellent, very good, good, better, and average. So such data that is known as the nominal data. Here the second example is I want to explain with the help of nominal data. We are getting the customer responses, customer feedback we want to get. Here the customer, if the customer has been satisfied with our services, customer says is very good, and the good, average, or not satisfied likewise. So this is called the nominal data. Here we are not providing the ordering or scaling. For such type of the data that is known as the nominal data. Sometimes we are giving the, suppose we are going to hotel, and here you are waiting in the queue for your number. Here you will say yes, this hotel is a very, very bad experience. You will say, or you will give your response. You will give your feedback. If you are getting the very good service, then you will say yes, this hotel is very good. So such type of data where you are giving the response and the feedback, this data is known as the nominal data. Sometimes suppose some marketing or research persons, they are coming to your schools, or they want to know about the responses of the students about the new product that has been launched by the company, and the ordering has been given there 1 to 10. Yeah, this product is existing from which scale. So that data will be the ordinal data, not the nominal data. And the last data of the qualitative data is the binomial format, binomial data. As you see from its word, the binomial, by it means 2. The data is represented in the 2 ways, just like a 0 and 1, true, false, and yes or no. The data is representing, or data is in the form of the 0, 1, true, false, yes or no. The data is known as the binomial data. And suppose we are taking the student attendance, and the student saying yes, present, or no, that student has not come, then data we will say the such type of the data that is known as the binomial data. Or sometimes the students has to return the answer in only format of the yes or no. If you can solve the problem, you can write yes. If you don't, if you are unable to solve the problem, you can write the no. So such data that is known as the binomial data. This is the complete classifications of qualitative data. Here let us go to the quantitative data. Quantitative data is further classified into discrete format and continuous data. The quantitative data is further classified into two formats, discrete data and continuous data. Let us see what is the meaning of the discrete data. The data that is representing in the form of only the numerical format or numerical way. Here, a characteristic format or textual data will not be considered. Only on the positive numbers will be considered here. The negative numbers will not be considered here. That is that data will be known as the discrete data. Here, let us I am explaining with the help of some example here. Let us assume how many students they like the butterscotch ice cream, chocolate ice cream, and the vanilla ice cream or strawberry ice cream. Here the students who like the butterscotch ice cream is 4, students who like the chocolate ice cream is 5, students who like vanilla ice cream is 3 and 2. This is only the number. This is in the numerical format and the numerical way. The data that has been represented in the form of the numerical format or numerical way, the data is known as discrete data. Here there is no negative numbers here. Data is always in the positive, maybe 0, not -1. Okay, so such data is known as a discrete data. Let us go to the continuous data. What is the meaning of the continuous data? The continuous data, as it from its word, the continuous data is in the form of the continuous way. There is no gap in between the data. Means here the data range will be given there. In continuous data, the data range will be given there, and there is no gap between the two ranges. Here I am explaining with the help of some example. Here the range of the data is 140 to 160, then 160 to 180, and 180 to 200, 200 to 220, and 240 to 220 to 240, and the last is 240 to 260. These are the ranges of the data. Here in the y-axis, here you will find how many students, let us assume how many students they belong to this range or this range. Likewise here in the 140 to 160, only the 4 students they belong or they exist. Here in the second range is 160 to 180, only the 5 students they belong or they exist. Here in the third range 180 to 200, here only the 6 students they belong to in this range, and the 200 to 220, only 8 students they belong or they exist. The 220 to 240, only the 5 students they belong. Here in the last range is 240 to 260, only the 1 students is belonging in this range. Here whenever we are providing the data range, this is the such type of the data that is known as the continuous data. Here the interval will be given there. Here the interval, here the range interval is the 20. You will find here the such data that is known as the continuous data. This data is very helpful whenever we are designing the data in the form of some chart. The such type of data is very useful, continuous data. Let us know what are the objectives of the data science. First we should know, before explaining the data science, what is the meaning of the data science. I will explain later on. And what are the responsibility of the data scientist. Data scientist is a person which is manipulating the data, which is analyzing the data, which is editing the data, each and everything, so that we can achieve our goal, or we can sort out the problems, our problems. Data scientist is playing the very important role for getting the solutions of our problems. And what are the various applications of data science where we can use the data science? Everywhere, according to me, everywhere we are using the data science. Okay, because wherever we go, you will find the data. In hospital you will find the data, in hotel you will find the data, in bank you will find the data, in organizations you will find the data, in railway you will find the data. Everywhere you will find the data. Data is there, means data science is there, because we have to manage the data, we have to handle the data. Here the next objective is, what is the relationship between the data science and big data. Big data is it is a part of the data, but it is Right now it is the very booming part, the big data. How can we relate the data science and big data? The last one, the next is the data science. Explore the data science. We have to elaborate and explore the data science discipline, rules and regulations, and the technologies and everything. And how the data science is importance for us. If you know what are the importance of the data science, then you can take you can take interest to learn the data science. Otherwise, if you don't know what are the importance of data science, you won't take the interest. What are the importance of data science in our life? And the last is objective is the Python language. Which language is used in data science for solving our problems? So these are nothing but the objectives which we have to consider each and everything one by one. The next is the data science. Here I will explain only the in brief and the little part of the data science, because data science is a very vast subject. Here the data science, as you know from its word, the data science consists of the two words, data plus science. Data I have already explained. Here in the science is nothing but we are combining some technology. The combinations of the data plus science means technology, tools, methods, and the language and the apps, library, combinations of all these things. We are solving our problems so that we can achieve the goal. That is the main important of the data science. Here in the science will provide us the for processing tools. For processing the data, which type of the tools are required, the science will give you. And the technology we can also get from the science, and the application. Which application design, how can design the application for processing the data. Here which language we have to use for designing the applications, here we will get from the science. And the library, from where we can get the so many modules and the functions that are helpful for solving our problems. That is very, very important for the science. We are getting from each and everything from the science. Here come to the data part. Here the domain expertise persons. The domain expertise person that will expert in some particular field, just like a physics teachers, they will solve the physics related problems. The math teachers will solve the math related problems. Likewise, here in the domain expertise persons, they will give you some models, some methods, some tools, scientific tools they will provide for solving our data so that we can get our result for achieve the goals. Here the domain expertise person will provide you some methods and the technology tools and the models also. They will provide here, this is the model is suitable for our data. Internally in the model we have to use the algorithms also, so that we can analyze the data and which data is important for us for solving or for getting our solutions of the problem that we get from the data. That is why according to me the data science consists of the two words, data plus science.